Hi, I'm Dr. Greg Costello, board certified family practice with CostelloWellness.com, and today we're going to talk about the measles outbreak that's happening actually in multiple states now. Started at Disneyland in California, and they've identified anywhere between 68 and 73 people with confirmed measles. So measles is a virus infection. It's respiratory spread by cough and respiratory droplets like the cold virus. It's a very severe viral infection. Cough, sore throat, fevers of 104, bloodshot eyes, white spots on the back of the throat, and then 3 or 4 days later you develop a classic measles rash. The problem with measles, other than it's a bad, very contagious infection, is you can die from measles. So I went back and looked at pre-1963 measles when we started vaccinating in the United States, and there were about 4 million cases of measles a year. Pretty much every child got measles by the time they were 15. About 48,000 hospitalizations. About 500 people a year, mostly children, died of the measles pre-vaccine, and about 4,000 got encephalitis. That's brain damage from swelling of the brain. This was every year, almost exclusively children, pre-1963 when we first started vaccinating against measles. We officially in 2000 declared to be measles eradicated. We had 0 cases of measles in the United States, and then since 2000 we've had about 175, 150 cases a year, with a major spike in 2014 of 644 cases in the U.S., almost exclusively unvaccinated persons. This is related to the anti-vaccine campaign that's out there and the thought that measles vaccine, or MMR, causes autism, which it does not. More and more people are choosing to not vaccinate their children against certain diseases. That's been okay up until now because of what's been called herd immunity. So you've got 20 kids in a classroom, 19 are vaccinated against measles and 1 is not. The chances of that one child getting measles is very unlikely because none of the other kids in the class are going to get measles. The herd is vaccinated and measles immune. The problem is when 1 becomes 2 or 3 or 5, now all of a sudden one kid gets measles in Disneyland, he comes back and he gives it to 4 other kids in his classroom, and then we have a measles epidemic. So the anti-vacciners out there have been getting away with this because of herd immunity, but as the anti-vaccination campaign grows, more people are not vaccinated and the risk of these major outbreaks increases. In 2001, we started with the MMR, measles, mumps, rubella. It's been widely established to be safe. There was one article in the Lancet in the 1980s by an English author who later recanted and said that his data was false, that said that the MMR was associated with autism. No other studies have shown this to be true. The problem is that people are not only not vaccinating against MMR or the measles vaccine, but they're not getting their DPT shots, and we're seeing whooping cough or pertussis epidemics as well. 2012 was the latest data I found from that. There was 48,000 cases of whooping cough or pertussis in the United States, and 20 deaths. All right, these are primarily children as well. An adult who gets pertussis generally has a very bad cold. A baby that gets pertussis goes on a ventilator in the intensive care, and 20 kids or 20 people died in 2012 from whooping cough. So it's not just the measles outbreak. This is endemic of a bigger problem of people that are not getting vaccinations. We are seeing diseases that have been essentially eradicated coming back. People have no memory of the death and destruction caused by these illnesses because they've never seen them in their lifetime. I have never had a measles case in my office. I've been in practice 20 years, and I don't see measles in the office because up until now it's been uncommon. So I don't even know what measles looks like. I've seen it in textbooks and I know about it, but we're seeing more of these diseases as we start to see diseases and start to see death from diseases that may change the tide a little bit and get people more involved. Melinda Gates had a comment recently about this anti-vaccine campaign, and she had mentioned in Africa that women will take their children 10 kilometers, they'll walk with their children to get vaccinated in some of these vaccine programs because in Africa people see death every day from these diseases that are vaccine preventable. So right now, 73 cases. It absolutely is going to go up because this is a respiratory spread infection. You can be sick and contagious for 4 days before you develop your rash. You can be sick for almost a week after that. So you get on the airplane coming home from Disneyland, you're sick, you don't know it, you cough, and 150 people on the airplane are exposed, and 2 of those people weren't vaccinated. They are almost assuredly going to get measles, and they go off to their 2 cities, and they go off to their 2 classrooms, and they cough and they expose other kids. And this is how a nationwide epidemic starts, from a single contact exposure, likely in Disneyland. Dr. Greg Castello, please vaccinate. Thank you.